Last month, I made a video talking about the speculation over why Blender 5.0 doesn't have DLSS support. DLSS is a suite of tools developed by NVIDIA for video games primarily, which allows much faster real-time rendering by basically just doing a better job of cleaning up very noisy frames. Right, so you would have in Blender a much nicer viewport performance that would kind of look like real-time rendering is the idea. So in that video, I addressed the speculation and talked about why we don't have DLSS in Blender yet and whether we'd get it in the future. And there's a really exciting update to that because Patrick Moores, who I believe is an NVIDIA employee, posted a pull request recently which includes code for getting DLSS into Blender, or at least partially. There are some asterisks that I need to talk about in this video if you want to try this yourself. However, I have been trying it already, and so far it is looking incredibly promising. This has been really cool to play with, so let's just dive in and take a look at that. Before we start, I have a new course called the Essential Material Guide. When I first picked up Blender 8 years ago, I felt overwhelmed by the shader editor. Over time, I developed a toolkit of techniques for creating literally any material I can imagine. Now I've distilled that knowledge into the Essential Material Guide. In 3 hours across 23 tutorials, you'll learn how to master material layering, realistic micro scratches, edgeware masks, camera interactive techniques, and so much more. If you're a beginner or even an intermediate Blender user and you would like to make materials like a pro, the Essential Material Guide is the course for you. Grab the course today and you'll get access to free future updates. Right now, you can save 35% on all of my courses using the code SAVE35 at Gumroad. All that's actually been posted so far is just a pull request, which means that the developer has just submitted their piece of code and are requesting that it gets reviewed and integrated into the main version of Blender. So at the moment, there's just a piece of code. There's no actual download on the Blender site or anything where you can get this. In theory, you would have to compile the code yourself in order to make it work, which if you've never compiled Blender or software in general before, it's a bit of an involved process. If you don't know what you're doing, it can take quite a long time. However, thankfully, people have already done that for us. There's versions of Blender 5.1 that are floating around with the DLSS support inbuilt into it, and you can just download one of those and give it a try. So in the description, I'll link 1 or 2 places where you can download a pre-compiled version from. But once you download it, you'll open it up and you'll see that it's just like any other version of Blender. I have the version number up here, and you can see this is based on 5.1 Alpha, which is the next version of Blender that's going to be released. And I have a scene here. This is from a recent course update to my Exterior Masterclass course, where I showed how I built this scene. And you can see that it's got all these wet surfaces, so it's a very noisy scene, which is why I've picked this one. There's tons of noise all over the place because this road surface especially is really wet. So if we turn on the viewport denoising here, then you can see that it takes a while, but it starts to do a pretty good job. By default, we have the Intel Open Image Denoiser on here. And you can see as I move the camera around, there is quite a lot of noise to resolve. If we try and play this back in the viewport especially, it's kind of just a bit of a blurry mess. Now we can change this over to optics, and it is a little bit faster, but maybe not quite as good quality, but it does seem to resolve things a little bit faster. Once again, it's nowhere near fast enough to be real time though. If we play this back in the viewport, it's mostly just like it's flickering and we have all these smudges and it has some big problems. But now we have this new option here for DLSS, and if we turn this on, it will take a second or two to originally build. But then once it does, you can see that almost instantly we get a nice clean image here. Now I have noticed that the image isn't quite identical. It's taking out a lot of highlights in the road surface here. Like if we go back to Open Image Denoise, you can see like the wetness on the road over here is basically completely missing. But otherwise, it's doing a very good job. It's mostly just taking out those really sharp highlights. But other than that, like the speed on this is absolutely phenomenal, to the point where we can actually just play this and we get a reasonably smooth image. We don't have any of that flickering that we had, at least. And we don't have any of the smudginess. So if you just wanted to preview how this is going to look in real time and get an actual idea of that, you can see it's doing a really good job. There is a little bit of flickering over here, and I did see some over there. All right, this isn't actually a real piece of fence. This is a texture. So it might be something to do with the alpha that's been used for this fence material. I'm not sure about that, but it's doing an incredibly good job when you consider how noisy this is without the denoising on, with all these strong lights and things. Now, one thing that I do want to mention right off the bat is this is, I think, only NVIDIA RTX cards this will work on, and I think it has to be over the 20 series. Also, you do want to make sure that your drivers are up to date. When I first installed this, my driver version was a bit behind, and it was actually slower, considerably slower than even optics or anything was. It was like jittering every time I moved the camera. So you do want to make sure things that are up to date. But also, there's a few areas at the moment where this doesn't work. Right now, this is based on just one part of DLSS, which is called ray reconstruction, which basically uses AI to figure out how the lighting should look, or like sort of guesstimate what the lighting is going to be like, rather than just trying to denoise everything. But if we turn the denoiser back on and I enable the volume here, because this isn't the full scene, we should have some fog in this scene, which really adds a lot to it. If we turn the fog on, you can see that the fog appears very slowly, and that's because, frankly, it just incredibly slow at working out volumes. So if we move around with the volume on, then everything just kind of breaks a little bit. It's not actually too bad in this scene. Some other scenes I've tested on is worse. But you can see now, if we try and play this back, we get, it's worse almost than it is using the other denoisers, because it's just too smudgy. So at the moment, it doesn't really support volumes for real-time playback, right? You have to have a static camera. The other problem that I've noticed with this is glass. I've seen one or two other people mention it, so I know it's not just my build. But we obviously have glass in this scene right now, and that seems to be mostly fine. But there are certain instances where glass just doesn't seem to work. I have a recent project that I've been working on. Let's see if I can find it. Called Kettle. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's a model I'm working on of a kettle, my kettle to be exact. And you can see this is probably the open image denoiser. It looks fine. It's resolving really quickly at the moment. But if we switch over to DLSS, then this happens. I have no idea why it's doing that. Let's hide this. Right, so this is obviously glass as well, and this, or it's essentially being used as a glass, and other than when it's moving around, it seems to mostly be fine. But we have this other piece of glass, and I have absolutely no idea what about this could be making it act like this. It doesn't have weird normals running. I actually have face orientation turned on. So I don't know what that problem is. Hopefully all of these issues are going to be sorted out in the future. This is early in the integration process, really. It's not like this is due to be released anytime soon, which is the other thing that I want to address here, while I'll bring up another example of a scene. We don't actually know still if this is going to happen or when this is going to happen. We might have to wait a long time before we actually see this into Blender. So this is another thing that I've been working on. Let's see how this acts. This is a 3D model of a fan. And I've got some interesting materials and stuff here for doing like sort of semi-transparents and stuff. This is all going to be for my second channel, Extra Pixels, where I talk about technology. So let's change this over, the viewport denoiser. And let's go DLSS and see what this is like. And you can see once again, there is a bit of an issue with transparent materials, right? Anything that has like a high transmission value or something like that, it doesn't seem to do a great job of figuring those things out. I don't know if that's just because of like its training data or whatever. Hopefully that'll be fixed in the future. But if we change these, right, to their original material, you can see that, you know, it's absolutely unreal how quick this is. The volumetrics and the transparency are the only thing causing problems, because otherwise this is just like having a real-time renderer. Like, I can't believe how quick this is, right? It looks almost like we're in Eevee, but we have cycles quality. Like, that's absolutely mad. I'm really impressed with this. I'm very thankful that the NVIDIA developers seem to still be working on it, and hopefully this is going to continue into the future, and within the next few months or by the end of the year, we'll have full support with this, with an actual complete working version. I leave links in the description where you can pick up the build that I've been using here. Also, make sure you check out that new course, the Essential Material Guide. Remember, there's a 35% off code. You just use the code SAVE35 at Gumroad, and you can save 35% for the foreseeable future, at least the next week or two. That applies to all of my courses as well, not just the Essential Material Guide.